Okay, I'm going to show this. There's some great pictures on Google. You can Google search area of a circle visual proof. Don't put the quotations in there. You don't have to put that. And it'll give you. So I just looked it up again just to remind myself. So we got the radius of this circle. So what we're going to do is ignore the chickens in the background. If I cut this, let's see how well I can do this. I'm going to cut this circle in a bunch of pie pieces, right? If you did it a whole bunch of times, and I'll take the ones on the top half, or let's color in every other one just for fun. I'll color in every other one, and I don't know how well I can draw this, but I'm gonna take that apart. Take that circle apart. I've got this piece here, like, oh boy, yeah, not real good. And how many of those pieces do I have? Okay, so I took the 4 that I got colored here. I took them apart. Now you have to go, and I slide in these ones that are not colored. Okay, imagine that I'd done this a little better, right? And there's one more piece right here. So what is that shape? If I kept cutting this tinier, you know, cut it, and I got a million of these pieces, and they're all stuck in there, then this line on the bottom would cease to be bumpy anymore, right? It would, if I did it a million times, it'd get very straight. And these pieces would stand up to where, what is my height of this? Well, what is from here to here? That's my radius, right? So I've got what shape do I have I made here? It's got a little slant at this end, got a little slant at this end. And so I have a parallelogram, and what's the distance here? What is this length? Well, that is half of the total distance around the circle. So I want to find area. Hang on, Oliver. Sorry, my son here. I've got the area of this figure, this decomposed circle. It's going to be the radius times 1/2 the circumference. And we go back to our definition of pi, or we could go back to circumference. Anyways, we'll go back to the beginning. Pi equals circumference divided by diameter. Multiply by diameter over here, I got circumference equals pi times diameter. And I know the diameter is 2 radii. So, sorry, I'm getting a little sloppy here. Circumference equals pi times 2 radius. So I'm going to put this here in place of the c. A equals radius times 1/2 times pi times 2 radius. 1/2 of 2 is 1. 1/2 times 2 is 1, so I'm left with area of the circle. Oops, almost off my page. Area of the circle equals 2, or 1/2 times 2 is 1, so I'm left with pi times 2 radius. Radius times radius, radius squared. So it's a nice little visual proof. Break down that circle, make it into a parallelogram that is radius tall by half the circumference in length, and use what you know about area of a parallelogram, and you got that little, I think that's a nifty little proof of why this magical formula, area equals pi times radius squared.